life is never going to be the same.
There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot going on here.
And we're live. Welcome everyone to our soundtracks panel. I'm Spencer from Mondo and Death Waltz.
Hi, I'm Mo Shafiq from Mondo and Death Waltz.
Ross from Enjoy the Ride Record. We're doing this? I don't know.
Yeah.
John from Tiger Lab Vinyl.
And JC from Milan Records.
Michelle from Enjoy the Ride.
I'm Aaron from Ship to Shore.
And Ryan from TerraVision. I can't breathe. I can't do it. I can't breathe. It was a mask on top of a mask.
It's like a messenger.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I can't do it.
I have to shout out Neil H, who's been waiting for the live stream for like 35 minutes, waiting for us to start.
I hope it was worth it.
He said his body is ready. I'm not sure his mind is.
I mean, I wasn't ready for what Ryan was bringing to the table just now. I've been laughing for the last 6 minutes straight.
It's hot in there, guys. It's hot. I'm smiling. You can't tell, but I'm smiling.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Reassuring.
Spencer, you're terrifying looking.
Yeah, man, that was the idea. It's Halloween. Not that John would know.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Oh, no.
Now, Spence, I actually haven't even asked this yet. Are you supposed to be a ventriloquist dummy, or are you just supposed to be like some Brit that I would never know?
Of course, he's from Magic.
From Magic.
The dad's film, one for the dads. Very old.
I approve. I approve of that. That's excellent.
Hey, Aaron. Happy Halloween. So how's everyone doing, man? It's very nice to see you. It's been like, has it been 5 months or 5 years since we last did this? I can't remember.
Time's a flat circle, man.
Yeah. So's the Earth, according to some people.
That's true.
We're starting there, huh?
I think that's a good place as any to start.
I want to shout out Eric Garza in the background, who's making all the comments live and made us this little nifty pumpkin carved Mondo logo literally 10 minutes ago.
It's beautiful.
A little bit of ephemera. That's all our main man, Eric Garza, creative director, just sitting in the wings. Cheers to you, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone for spending your Halloween with us. This is very, very exciting. This time is going to be actually pretty loose. We don't really have a whole lot planned tonight. Last time we had this like really robust PDF that was just waiting in the wings to show off all our goodies, but we actually all just missed each other, and so we decided we were just going to get back together, same time, same place, 6 months later, and here we are. So how's everyone's Halloween going?
That was not 6 months ago.
Was
It
it
was
not?
July. No, it was July. It was July, right? Because it was Comic-Con.
It was late July.
Oh my
At
god.
that.
I hope it wasn't, but who knows?
Yeah, 4 months.
Hey,
I feel like Colonel
semantics.
Mustard
Sorry.
carrying the months and the bolt and the gun.
It's really hot.
So New Yorkers, we have a lot of New Yorkers in here. How's New York right now?
Ugh, it's cold. I'm not a fan.
It's getting cold.
Sucks.
Oh, wow.
Has it gotten any less restrictive? Because obviously Spencer just told us that the UK is about to get locked down again. Is New York opening up anytime soon, or is it still pretty much the same?
No,
They want to pretend like they are, but
Yeah.
Actually,
I felt the same.
Ross and Michelle, you guys get to eat inside if you go to restaurants, though.
Yes,
Some
no?
places-
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we can now, but like there's only like one place we go to that our friend owns because like we can sit at the bar and we're not facing anyone. But
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I'm careless with it. I don't want to be around them if it's like someone who didn't wash their hands or.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, but you guys haven't had any like.
Right. Yeah.
enjoy the ride. You haven't experienced any outages. Like I remember Ship to Shore, you guys couldn't even get into your warehouse at one point, right?
Yeah, from like March until like late May, I was like in my apartment basically every day. But we are back there now. I'm lucky in that I can walk to our office and ship stuff. So, but I haven't taken the subway since March, certainly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ship out of here, so we really haven't thankfully had too much of a lag or issue there.
Yeah, that's good because it was there was a big back order when I got back in
I'm sure.
in May, but yeah, it's been okay. I mean, there's been a little bit of an uptick in New York City, but I mean, not as much as the rest of the country, but still, it's after what we went through, it's a little concerning. Still, not to make this into the pandemic hour, but.
Yeah, gotta break it off with some small talk. I see that Gigawatts is in the chat right now. Gigawatts is he did this amazing video for Spence and I a couple of weeks ago. That is one of the sweetest things I've ever seen put on YouTube about this vinyl movement, and I would highly recommend you interview any of these people here. They're just as interesting and probably even more fascinating stories to tell than Spencer and I. So if you haven't checked it out, check out Gigawatts' YouTube channel. They've been covering the vinyl soundtrack movement over there, and it's a really, really comprehensive and a great deep dive.
Cool.
Yeah, I checked it out. It was awesome.
Well, thank you, Neil, for the compliment on my one sheets. Very beautiful. Yeah.
Are those seasonal? Do you rotate those?
Yeah, I have a lot of them now are at the office now, but yeah, I do rotate them. I just rotated out the Videodrome used to be Redneck Zombies, and I forget what the Rocky Horror one used to be, but yeah, I rotate them out every few months.
Thank you, Aaron. I was actually finishing my makeup when we were on here. I did a test run the other day. I was like, dear God. So thank you. I guess it works out pretty well.
Yeah.
But what has everybody been listening to? Like, I know that we've had 3. We're done with the record store day drops now, right? I'm losing track, and then there's Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday is coming.
Yeah, there's the fourth one's coming up.
In a row. Oh my God.
What am I listening to? I bought a 13-disc Prince album recently.
I saw that on Instagram. That was magical. I saw Tony had posted it too.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, so beautiful.
Am I too loud? I saw someone complain that I'm too loud.
You're a little better now.
You're fine.
It's because I'm not yelling this time.
I just got the Dispatches from Elsewhere discs from Invader, and they are like phenomenal, man. I don't know if any of you saw that show. I think it was on in like February this year. They just didn't do anything. It was on AMC, and the show is amazing. And the score is like incredible. Atticus Ross, and the rec. I'm so jealous they released them, man, because they're like so good.
What show is that? I missed
It's called
that.
Dispatches from Elsewhere. It's Jason Segel.
Yeah, you'd think that you would have heard that Jason Segel came out of retirement and directed and produced a 10-episode miniseries based on a interactive game that happened in San Francisco as part of a documentary with a soundtrack by Atticus Ross, but it literally just doesn't exist, and it came out this year.
That's so crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it sounds
That's
awesome.
wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of that this year. I feel like when I talk about Tales from the Loop a little bit, people are just like, that sounds like something I would have heard if that came out. You mean like a show with Rebecca Hall and scored by Philip Glass that's based on this incredible Scandinavian art and also came out on Amazon? And you're like, yeah. And it's like, nope, never heard of it.
Well, there's just so much content these days. Yeah. How could you keep it all straight?
Yeah, man, we talk about this all the time. Shannon, you can shut up. sat there. Yeah, we talk about this all the time because we're like, oh my God, have you seen this show? It's amazing. And there's just too much stuff out there, man. It's like,
There's 5 million shows.
now,
You can't watch them all.
yeah, but you'd think right now with everyone being stuck at home,
Right.
you'd be consuming everything. But there's just too much, man.
Yeah,
It's
there's
actually
too much,
been,
even for the pandemic man, there's too much. It's too much.
There's been a decrease in viewership in the past few months of TV shows and movies on all the streaming platforms. I don't know if it has to do with sports being back, but there was a bunch of articles saying that the viewership on Netflix, Amazon has decreased since the end of the summer.
I wonder if that's because people are just burnt out of watching entire seasons of shows, man.
I mean,
was
how many times can you watch The Office over and over?
Yeah, no, it's like there's definitely a corollary there because The Office left Netflix and went to Peacock, which doesn't exist either. And so maybe that's the study. It's just like everyone stopped watching Netflix the second that The Office went off the air.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thankful that they're dropping Mandalorian one a week because I'm like, that's cool. Gives me something to look forward to, and you know, I don't feel pressured to like dive in and watch it all in one day.
Yeah, the boys did that also, at least over here. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
I haven't even watched The Boys yet. Do you guys like it?
Love
fun.
it.
I haven't even
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Love
The
it.
Boys is worth a watch for sure. It could have been really, really not cool. It's one of those like graphic novels that I feel was like sort of like Kick-Ass, where it was like written to be adapted and like doesn't exist for like isn't really meant to be a comic book. It's more just a proof of concept for a inevitable movie or TV show, but it actually works and it's really good. And Dennis Quaid's kid is great, and so is obviously Dredd. I'm spacing out his name now. Carl Urban, amazing.
Gotcha.
His accent though. His accent's so off, man. I mean, his accent's bad, and then when his mom turns up, my eyes rolled back so hard. You looked at the wall behind me.
He's not from here, though, is he? Isn't he from over there?
Is
he just doing like a brogue that like doesn't?
Oh, he's Australian.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Australian.
His accent's pretty good most of the time. But my gosh, sometimes it's like, oh no. When his mom is like the worst thing I've ever seen. But I still love the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see some people shouting out the new Mando episode 2 in the chat. Like, yeah, what an amazing premiere that was. I'm very, very excited that that's back.
Brad is asking about the framed underwear behind Ryan.
I can't. I mean, I'd be curious about it too.
Yeah. So I'm in the true crime room of my museum. So behind me is this is Richard Ramirez artwork, and then these are Eileen Mornow's panties, and to my right is a bunch of Ed Gein stuff, and in front of me, I have the world's largest John Wayne Gacy painting collection, so that's what all of this is that you can't see. I have a museum.
How did you acquire Eileen Warnos' panties?
Oh, anyone can get them, my friend. It's not that hard.
Oh, all right. That's good to know.
Her
Looking forward to
ex,
getting a pair of my own.
if you make friends with her ex, she wheels and deals sometimes. So I'll put it there.
All right, we'll talk later.
Will we?
I hope so.
I can't talk about that, Aaron. It's too much, man. It's way too much.
I'll tell you the real truth. Spencer made it through 3 episodes of that, and he got on Slack and was like, "What a bunch of shite that was."
I do like Dr. Sleep though.
Dr. Sleep was good.
Yeah. Also, Ryan sounds like he's fronting Lightning Bolt. Facts with Theories with George says, I'm very lost.
Sorry.
I think we all are as well. Don't worry about it.
That's what I bring.
Someone's asking, Ryan, you dropped children shouldn't play with dead things today, right?
I mean, I haven't told anyone but the mailing list. So yeah, I guess so.
Sorry.
No, it's not a secret. I like to give the mailing list like a solid 24 to 48 hours of exclusivity so that they can get shit before it sells out. But yeah, so that yeah, that's a good one. It's it hasn't. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I feel like an idiot. Look at me. What am I doing? Happy Halloween. Yeah, children shouldn't play with dead things. It's 1972. He knows what it is, apparently, yes. It never had a release. I'm not sure why. It's fucking scary. It's like legitimately scary. Him and the composer, Carl, and this guy, Paul Zaza, who scored The Brain, which I put out this year, they went in and so it's original elements, some SFX, some dialogue, and then they actually added, I think it's a total of 3 compositions, just to like fill it out because it's a really short piece otherwise, but it plays like a radio play, so each side is just a song or a track rather, but they made something that is legitimately terrifying, so I'm excited for people to hear it.
Cool.
I'm excited to get
it. They're really enjoying Hey Arnold.
Yeah, man. You're on your second pressing of that, aren't you?
Yeah, we're gonna probably work on a third for 2021. But yeah, thanks so much. It took a really long time. It's a long road. It was also never released, so we had to like kind of find it all, then remix, remaster for commercial release, and got into artwork by Craig Bartlett. And I'm glad everyone loves it. Like people are very passionate about Hey Arnold, which I was hoping for, but it's hard to kind of predict these things. But yeah, came out awesome. We're really happy with it, and glad everyone else is for sure.
Congrats all around there. Seriously, you guys have been knocking those Nick things out of the park.
We got a few more.
Nick things. We got a surprise today, and we didn't even we haven't showed this on social media because we're not that we're anti pre-order, but we just rather we try to hold off.
Well, especially this one, it's hard to predict how we did the screen print, so it's kind of hard to predict. So we want to have a finished product before we really.
This is what's going to be coming. We did a liquid turtles. Oh, there's the glare from my screen, but
we see it. Yeah.
Romanus, and this is actually the second batch because the first, I don't know. I feel like I'm particular about things, but we wanted to look more oozy. So
whoa,
this is it's cool, and I know this is like garbage, but it was so exciting. We got it today, opened it. I was like, it's so ooze. I was like, I know it's not proper description, but I was like, it's perfect timing for today. So
yeah, incredible.
It'll be out later. We will keep everyone posted.
We'll have a normal version also. This is the artwork. We had the finished sample. It's this awesome flip open
jacket.
That's awesome.
Nice. That's really cool.
And then the record itself, they all have the screen print also. We're going to do all the turtles. The music's all on one side, 45 RPM, so it's higher quality than the 7-inch, but it's all the same music as the previous things, just all new artwork and remastered and upgraded deluxe.
I had never even considered screen printing on a striped effect vinyl before. That's such an ingenious idea. That's so cool.
It was a little scary. I had this thinking 4 years ago. It took a long time to work out everything with approvals and the whole concept and the deal. But yeah, thanks, man. We're looking forward to it. That should be out probably early December. We're hoping on.
Yeah, and then the cool. Will be further out. This is the proto, so it's going to be a pre-order for that. And then we have Ren and Stimpy that we said last time too. That should be, what did we say? December, January, something around there.
Yeah, that's also probably going to be December. I don't know. Everything keeps on getting shuffled around.
So
we hope
we'll
out by the end of the year. But
yeah, everyone in this chat right now will tell you just how difficult it is to make product in 2020, as all of you might expect. But we've been able to get some things done and in production, but we're also very sensitive, as I'm sure Ross and Michelle are, and everyone else here, about selling things that we can't fulfill before Christmas. So you're probably going to end up seeing a little bit of a gap especially towards the end of November and December of new releases, because you don't want to like make the general audiences think that they're going to get something for Christmas when they're not.
Yes.
Which is a shame. We had a couple of things sort of lined up for December that we thought we could make it happen.
Yeah. Just make next year better, I guess. But then the same cycle will happen, but in theory.
John, didn't you guys just launch your new sub?
Yeah, we just launched the new sub, and it's funny because we're talking about not shipping and doing pre-orders for December, but just due to all the plant delays, 2 of those records are coming the first week of December. So we're just trying to figure out for the sub, do we want to start shipping them? Do we want to wait till after the holidays? So, but yeah, we're going through the same things, guys. But that's actually been going really well. And then we also have, 4 of those test pressings already in, approved, done. We're throwing in Kickboxer and Vampire Hunter D and Tokyo Godfathers next week. And then a very special, I'm not going to say what it is though, but for the sub, there is a anime that if you join the sub, you're going to get a special release, and it's only going to be for subbers. And it's going to be the openings and endings of the theme songs, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet.
No.
Join the sub. Join the sub.
Yeah, you and JC are killing it, man. Like JC, your Cowboy Bebop, like that's got to be one of the biggest selling records this year. Like,
yeah, it actually went kind of beyond my expectations. It's big.
Never underestimate
real.
the anime fan.
you sound so excited.
Sorry?
You sound so excited, JC.
No, you know what? I know that face. I know that face where you're just sort of like, this exceeded expectations and you're traumatized because everyone's been screaming at you online for 4 months about how you failed them and you ruined their lives by not having enough product. I know the feeling.
It's only going to be late of 2 weeks. We have to delay the release of 2 weeks. Ghost of Tsushima is delayed of 1 month. But yeah, I think Cowboy Bebop is it's like 3 times more the number I had in mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got so many messages about it from people, like just being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this exists," and that's when I knew. I was like, "Oh no, oh no, this is gonna be a bad one."
I have a funny story because we put at one moment on Amazon. It was in front of Taylor Swift's new album in the physical chart.
That's amazing.
Kind of a little joke, like, sorry, Taylor Swift. And I had like Taylor Swift fans army kind of harassing me for a night on Twitter, posting all our accomplishments.
I bet.
Like, how dare you saying that? That's pretty funny.
Do not fuck with the Swift army.
No.
Yeah.
The only other army that's stronger than that is Lady Gaga's army. Like, never, ever. Let me warn you.
Also, it's pretty good.
Beyonce, I think, has a pretty intense one too. But
Oh yeah, the
Hold
queen.
on, man. I'm old, but even I know that BTS has like the biggest army.
Fair.
No, it's. I think we're shipping worldwide about 60,000 units.
Whoa!
What?
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was I think Akira. It's like triple the amount of Akira.
Wow.
I didn't expect this, to be honest.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a vinyl selling that much. Maybe at the time of my father, he had that, but this is kind of for us unheard of that large of a quantity.
That's congratulations. That's a great.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
And it means that after that, hopefully next year I can bring this one, which is because now you have to milk the cow as much as you can.
Yeah, of course. You must do that.
This is the soundtrack. This is the soundtrack to the movie Cowboy Bebop. There was after the 2 seasons, they did an animated feature-length film. So that's the next one we're working on.
Nice.
Awesome.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. I have a question in the chat about what I'm drinking, and it is sake. Nick, sorry, you asked me a long time ago, and then someone also asked, Any plans for Mask of the Phantasm soundtrack release? And I will say that the answer to that is eventually. We had a queue of these Batman the Animated Series releases. We did the second box, which came in the mail the other day. Looks really nice. Then we were supposed to do a Christmas with the Joker 10-inch that was held up by the fact that Mark Hamill had approved the usage of his voice for the Jingle Bells Batman Smells song for digital. But we were like, oh my God, can we use that on the vinyl? And they were like, oh, we have to like ask his team all over again. And it's been a full year since we asked that. And so that's next in the queue. And then after that, we're going to do Mask of the Phantasm. But there's like a big DC queue because obviously like the layoffs happened over there at Warner Brothers. And so it's just like this. It's a thing over there.
Brad Bomkamp is asking, has anyone attempted to release scary stories that to tell in the dark? Because the original goes for a fortune. I know we haven't, but like you guys, anyone?
The book, like the audiobook, I'm assuming he's probably talking about. And yeah, we've looked into it. It's complicated. But yeah, we've looked into it.
It's complicated is the answer to a lot of things. That people
to a lot of questions, that is the general answer.
Yeah.
We would like to at some point, but currently it doesn't look like it is the answer.
I saw someone asked about an update on the Mandalorian vinyl. Those are finished at the plant. They're just on their way. And because those are so bulky, they have to go by a sea. And so there's just going to be, they're just not going to be at our fulfillment company until like 3 weeks from now. So I'd expect shipping sometime at the end of November. But they're done.
Oh, nice.
Someone's asking if we can press more Nightmare Before Christmas. If we could, we would. We can't. So
yeah,
why it was limited to one per person, to kind of like just try and make sure everyone could get it that needed it.
I love the Burton idea, by the way.
Yeah, that seemed like the path of least resistance. They were just like, be prepared.
Yeah.
Burton's like very particular.
Box set that has like all the napkin sketches, like each CD has like, so yeah, I love that stuff. But yeah, that came out fucking awesome, guys.
Yeah.
And most question for you, Mo. Usually, when do the licensor gives you like, do they determine the amount you have to manufacture? Or do they let you repress, or does it depend on the title?
Depends on the title and depends on the licensor. And without talking too much inside baseball in a public space, I will say that a lot of times you have to just sort of read the room, and we have like a million projects in the works. And so we allow for the rules to be dictated for us just so we're being polite partners, you know, and not like push too much back, you know, and who knows, this thing has been pressed and out in the wild forever. Right. And so you always go like, that sounds like enough. Right. You know, like maybe like you did with Cowboy Bebop, we were like, that's been out forever, you know, like maybe not on vinyl, but like who'd have thought 60,000. Right. And so with Nightmare, you definitely go like, yeah, that should be good. That should be enough. And then you realize very quickly it's not. But I've seen any updates on Batman 89. I'm assuming you're asking about the Prince album, Adam Stevens, but no updates, unfortunately. I think maybe I mentioned this last time, but there's like a big thing where the Prince Estate's catalog is going to Sony at the end of this year. And so they were trying to get as much stuff out as possible before then. And so then once it transfers to Sony, the only things that remain at Warner Brothers are the soundtracks, which is Purple Rain, Parade, Graffiti Bridge, and Batman. And then after that, we're allowed to resume conversations about that.
They're doing a good job of pumping it out.
Yes, they are. Yes, it is very not good for my wallet.
That Sign of the Times box set, though, incredible.
Someone called Gary's in the chat saying, I have an amazing Prince story. Get me drunk and I'll tell you.
Why are you drunk now, Gary? Come on.
Gary, hop in the chat right now.
He also did some stuff for Milan, JC, back in 2007, 2008, whilst at Warner International.
I was working there at the time, so tell us more, Gary.
Yeah, please.
Someone asked that since we released Nightmare Before Christmas, any chance on Hocus Pocus or Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow? I don't really remember Sleepy Hollow. I haven't seen that movie in like 15 years. Anyone else, can you stand up for that movie? Vouch for it?
Fun, man.
I know Eric in the chat is a big fan.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, man.
I watched it during quarantine.
But Hocus Pocus rules, and I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a movie people remember.
Yeah.
Also, the Johnny Depp of it all is sort of very tough these days, too. I'll be honest.
And the Jeffrey Jones.
Oh, was he in that too? Shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even remember that much.
Someone that I can't pronounce their name because it's a crazy thing is asking John, any updates on the Death Note 6LP box set? Curious if it will include any songs from the Notebook edition or if it's all additional material.
It's going to include the first volume from the Notebook and then the next two. So it's going to be all three together in an apple. It's ready to be submitted. We just haven't submitted it yet. So we think we're going to do it in December. And then we'll just keep you posted.
Cool. A couple of people have asked about Phantom repress. Yes, that is underway. I just approved test pressings because we refused the first batch of new tests on that because they didn't sound good. But I got them yesterday from Got a Groove and it sounds incredible. So that is now in progress.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about that for a while. Probably be able to get that out. Life Force.
That's a movie.
Has no one done that? No one's put that out?
I know. I think somebody's putting it out because I was gonna do it with Nicholas, and we didn't do it eventually. But I think somebody else is doing it. I don't know who it is, but I know there were other labels interested. So I'm sure it's gonna come out eventually through someone.
Yeah, with the amount of labels doing reissues right now, I wouldn't be surprised. Life Force seems like a very easy thing to make happen. Someone's asking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I will say that one is a title that is like the reason that one has never come out is because that one will never come out.
Yes.
That is just one of those titles that is so it's complicated that it negative has a chance of ever coming out. Which is sad. Which is sad when you realize that you go like, oh shit, so everyone just wants this thing, but there's just some weird bad blood somewhere that somebody is just that'll never happen. Sorry, and you just go okay.
Talking of getting me drunk, I've got a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre story. Not coming here. Someone was asking about Hackers. That came out for Record Store Day, Drop 23, a week ago or something. But I think
it made Jay Shaw very happy.
Yeah, I think they didn't press that many of it because it sold out immediately and people were freaking out for it. So maybe they'll do what they did with The Crow. They released that for Record Store Day and then they did a black edition 6 months later.
Someone's asking about Edward Scissorhands. There hasn't been any update to that. That one is weird because it's owned by multiple people and now it's owned by even more people. When we started working on it, it was just Fox who had the rights to it, but it was a universal soundtrack release. And so you have to get the rights from the record label and then get permission from the studio. And in that time period, Disney acquired Fox and then it became a whole lot more complicated. And so the pros outweighed the cons, especially as the Johnny Depp stuff was coming up, and we decided that we were gonna step back a little bit and be we'll figure out if this makes sense, especially because we had Nightmare in the works already, another Danny Elfman Burton thing, and so we were we'll play this one by ear, and it kind of just fell to the bottom of the pile. We'll still probably going to do it eventually, but it's a lower priority at the moment.
So Mo, I should not bring to Mondo the next soundtrack we're doing with the main actor as Johnny Depp.
I mean, I don't want to say that the actor dictates, but I just know that there's, if you brought me the next Woody Allen movie and you were do you want to release this? I would also say no to you too,
I'm
I mean,
playing.
but we're doing Crybaby, man.
That's true. That's
I've
true.
I've been working with John Waters on art with Sarah Deck, who's killing it. That's pretty freaky to call John Waters at home. So I rarely get freaked out or kind of get starstruck, but I mean he's a huge hero, and he was just like, just call me, and I was just like, oh hello. So when I first rang him, I was like, hello, is that Mr. Waters? And he put the phone down on me, right? And then I called him back, and I went, is that John? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, you just put the phone down on me? He went, yeah, you sounded like you were just trying to sell me insurance or something. I was petrified, man.
That's amazing.
Aaron, there's a question for you in the chat. It's a question: are we not men?
We are Devo. Come on. We are Devo. I have a question for people, if anybody's willing to answer it.
It's always a good premise.
Now that the Keep is finally getting officially released, is anybody going to do a vinyl version of it?
It's not.
Wait, what?
I spoke to Universal.
It's not. It was on that
the
that
CDs
Virgin Recordings box set.
The CD's in the box set, but no, they are not interested in licensing vinyl to anybody.
Oh, that's too bad. I mean, I'm gonna get the box set, of course, but
that's.
I didn't even know that was happening. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's so crazy. That soundtrack has been elusive for 20 odd years, and then it just gets totally low key announced in the middle of a 15 CD box set or something. They're like, I didn't see any.
I just looked it up. It's disc 10 of a 10 disc box set. It's incredible. It's amazing. But yeah, it's so crazy that is finally getting released. I was just wondering if anybody was working on that.
Yeah, the minute they announced that, I was on email with our uni rep, Scott, and he was like, yeah, I'll ask. And then he was like, within an hour, nope. I was like, okay, cool. Well, at least I know,
Well, that's good to know, I guess. At least it's getting released. I mean, it's insane that it's even getting released finally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Someone's asking what apart from Texas Chainsaw, what's another holy grail that won't clear? Gary's asking. I mean, does anyone have do you still have grails?
I got a story that won't clear. Because we get a lot of these emails, maybe a few times a week. People keep asking us to do Angel's Egg, and it's never ever going to happen ever. So that's one that I heard from that licensor.
Well, somebody mentioned The Shining. I mean, that's a complex one, to say the least.
Yeah. They're still out there. There's still a lot of titles that are precarious, but time changes everything. I got a very frantic call from Rob Jones yesterday while I was driving home from lunch. And he was so excited because he finally found the rights to something he's wanted to do for years. And I'm talking 5 years. He's been actually, no, maybe since the beginning of the label. And he was just like, I spoke to the guy, and the guy has it, and I'm going to connect you. And I'm like, amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh my God, how did this happen? And he's just like, I don't know. I got a guy who knew a guy to introduce me to the guy, and he had it. And I was like, cool. And then, believe it when you see it, when, paper is signed, but dreams do come true. It's just a matter of approaching it from different relationships. So never say never on Texas Chainsaw, never say never on The Shining, but remains to be seen. There are certain things that just stay elusive.
Yeah. Spencer, I did that to you 5 years ago with the guy from the Wraith. Do you remember that?
Oh, I talked to him.
Oh, you did? So what happened with that? We haven't even talked in years about that.
It was one of those kind of, I own the rights to this. I want to put it out. Are you interested? And I was like, yeah, I'd do that. And then it just sort of fizzled out because the rights holder wasn't entirely certain that they held all the rights.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Akash Kumar asked, would be dope for more foreign films. Lahane, Tetsuo the Iron Man, Wong Kar-wai, Park Chan-wook films. If this helps at all, we're doing a Wong Kar-wai film next year. In Valentine's Day, we're doing In the Mood for Love, which is a huge one, which is like a huge holy grail for me personally. I'm quite excited about that. We've been working on it for years, and we're working directly with Wong Kar-wai and his team on it, tied in with the 4K restoration, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, we would love to do Park Chan-wook films. You know, licensing just gets complicated and takes longer especially when it's not like a US based thing. JC and John can tell you that much, certainly.
You have to be very patient.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was, I think the person who explained it the best way how to work with Japanese is the designer from APC, the French brand of clothing. And he said when he started working in Japan, he said it's the weirdest thing because it feels like 1 year it's like 1 year is 5 years. Like you just have to agree to work on their time. They're always going to get back to you eventually, but it looks like they have an idea that they have all the time in the world.
Yep.
And you just have to wait with
I'll
a
say
smile.
that, JC, there's a specific title. I'm not going to say here, but we've been working on for years. And I would just do like, your normal periodic follow-ups every like 3 or 4 months. And after like 4 or 5 months, I sent another email and they told me I was too aggressive and to stop. And they don't want to work with us because I was asking too much. And it was once every 5 months.
Man.
How are you guys dealing with that? Because JC, I remember that I think like the second time I was in Tokyo and we bumped into you in Harajuku. But
Yes.
like I was on vacation, but you were out working. But like you have to go over there because there's so much face to face with Japan, right? So how are you dealing with that this year where you can't travel? Like,
Well, it's I always made a point of going twice a year for work for 1 week. And it's true that they don't like to work especially when they don't know you, they don't like to work by email, they don't like to work by phone. They really want to meet you. They want to meet you several times. But when, I've been going long enough that I'm still able to do some work with some people. But you can tell eventually that if you stop going, they're going to forget about you. I don't know if it's specific to Japan. I think it's also one of the sad aspects of the music industry today. Probably not for us, but I think it's like a lot of. I was doing an interview, and I realized that the only stories I was telling was stories my father told me, because at this time, working in music meant you had to travel and meet people. And I think that's one of the aspects today that kind of get lost, or maybe certain things become more difficult to do because people feel they can do everything by email. But having worked with Japanese people, it kind of reminded me about that's kind of one of the most fun aspects of what we do is the opportunity to really work physically with people. Which actually a question for you, John. Do you go to Japan, or have you built all your business from here without ever going? I always was curious about this.
It's funny. I think Spencer, you asked me the same thing a long time ago. We've been lucky we haven't. I mean, I want to travel to Japan to meet everybody, but we've been fortunate enough where we haven't had to make our deals. But at this point, obviously we don't plan on traveling anytime soon. But yeah, it's something that we want to do eventually, but we've been lucky enough to be this, to get as much as we've gotten without having to travel.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Aaron, same for you for the City Pop stuff. You've had to travel to Japan for that stuff, right?
Not for that stuff, but I mean, I have traveled to Japan for business for some of the video game soundtrack stuff. But all the City Pop stuff was all done over email, which was really nice. So yeah, it's surprising, but yeah. And we're doing a lot more of that next year, which is going to be really fun because I love doing that stuff. And I know, Mo, you're a big fan of it. So.
Huge fan. And I may hit you up privately because there's a couple of non-City Pop, like more modern stuff that I'm trying to get at that I would love to put out here and give it a domestic pressing. So I may have to talk to you about who you know, because I only know so many people over there. And
well, I mean, we actually are. I don't want to mention any of the artist names, but we are doing some more of the sort of modern city pop inspired stuff for next year. So yeah, definitely hit me up and we can talk about these people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll hit you up.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been a release for The Gate? Huh. That's a good question. Yeah.
That is a good question.
You want me to, don't you?
Well, I guess, I mean,
Yes.
There hasn't been one yet. That'd be really fun if someone put it out.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. There will be one, hopefully February. We're working on a ridiculously lavish pop-up gatefold thing that I wanted it to be our Halloween release, but that ain't happening. So, yeah, it's complete with the sacrifice. You'll see. We're doing it up right, and we're actually doing toys for the first time.
Whoa, really?
Wow, that's awesome.
Why the fuck not? Basically, there's so many great characters that awesome monsters and shit. So we're going all in on it. So it should be fun.
Oh my god, Ian, Alex, Mac, you got this exclusive right here.
That's true.
It's amazing.
That was a little bit more than I probably should have said.
Well, we only have about 10 to 12 minutes left before we have to hop over to Ryan's event. So, Ryan, would you like to maybe tell us what we have in store for us on the next hour?
Sure. It's kind of lofty, so this might take 13 minutes. I'm kidding. All right, so I started a project called the Marshmallow Ghosts in 2008, and I've done an annual Halloween vinyl release every year, and it's kind of morphed into less music and more narrative structure, storytelling sort of records. And the concept for this year's was to do a War of the Worlds meets Art Bell's Ghost to Ghost release. So it's got a narrative structure. There's a DJ, a fake DJ, and she takes calls, ghost story calls, just like Art Bell used to when he was still alive. And like I said, there's a whole narrative structure that ties it together. I obviously shouldn't tell you what that is, otherwise there's no reason to watch and listen. So that's 36 minutes of it, but the first 24 minutes, this is so confusing. So I can't leave anything to be a simple concept because I'm loony. So I thought it would be a brilliant idea to do a visual companion piece to this. Okay, so we created a fake news network, TV network, radio network called KLME. And what you're about to watch is both a fake news network celebrating Halloween the way they do every year, and then we switch to the radio division of KLME for this Marshmallow Ghost thing. I know, it's kooky, I get it, but you guys are showing it for some reason. And
maybe our lovely Mondo moderator will drop the link in for the KLME in the chat on YouTube, so people can just hop over.
Are you going to comment the result of the election on Tuesday through KLME?
Don't. Let's not go there.
Oh, we've got 11 minutes left, JC, and you bring this up.
It's a bold move.
Yeah, Ryan, that didn't take 13 minutes. That made perfect sense to me, and I'm a little drunk.
The whole point of this is yes, we realize it's not as structured as the last Art Soundtracks panel we did at San Diego Comic-Con, and it's a bit of a shit show, but so's this year, and we just wanted to hang out with our friends and then hang out with you guys in the chat. And then I was talking to Ryan, and Ryan was like, I'm going to do this crazy fucking thing for Halloween. And I was like, cool, we'll add that to our Halloween. And then obviously we have Mondo Palooza coming up later with tons of live performances. And it just felt like it would be, something to do.
Yeah, I am completely and utterly obsessed with Halloween. Like, it is, since childhood. So I literally built a 5,000 square foot museum to celebrate it, this is kind of the creepiest part of it, and not so Halloweeny. It's just creepy in general. But the rest of the museum is very Halloweeny. So it's you'll see in what you watch in a moment here. It's a love story. It's Ryan's love story to Halloween. That's stupid, but you know what I'm saying. It's complete obsession.
What's everyone up to for the rest of the evening?
I'm gonna watch Halloween, and then I'm gonna watch Halloween 3. That's
Correct.
I have to take my daughter to look at decorated Halloween home from our car.
I've been rewatching
Also good.
so I'm gonna probably go back to that. Not really Halloweeny, but
Yeah, we're probably gonna watch Nash Bridges. We're like, I think on season 5 now. I'm not even kidding. Like,
That's one of the scariest shows of all time.
well, no, I know. It's just so, and they changed the theme music. So like the last, like when we put the disc in, sometimes like if he falls asleep, I'll just hear like the theme over and over again, and I'm just like, and he's like, "Hey babe, it's your favorite song," and I'm like, "Oh." But I heard it when the new one. I was like, "Oh wait, they changed it up. It's like a little jazzier." So I think we just started season 5. It's like when Evan starts to go like crazy. So
Are you just a Damon Lindelof completionist or something, or what are you trying to do there?
what with Nash Bridges?
Yeah.
No, it's just I think it's my husband. He's into cars, so Don Johnson, Miami Vice, something with that. We rebought. We repurchased Miami Vice. We had it on a hard drive, so after we finish Nash Bridges, I'm sure we're gonna dig into that because I don't know. Just like at night, we just like kind of just hang out in bed and like watch something. What did we watch, Ross? We watched Hey Arnold, because I told you about that. What else? Oh, Daria. Like we just like we. I know. It's Steve.
What the
But-
Spence always wanted to put out the Miami Vice soundtrack, the original, the OG one.
Wait,
Nash Bridges and Chill. This is the new thing.
This is the next dropping soon. I don't know. We didn't even look into that.
yeah, we haven't.
I feel like you'll probably be like, no. Miami Vice would be sick. I mean, we already have. I think it's the volume 1, and like they did like a volume 2. We have like from the 80s, but that'd be awesome. I feel like there's so many people like who were into that.
We looked into that once. It was complicated, quote unquote.
Our favorite answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with these last 5 minutes, anyone want to plug anything? Anyone want to tease anything? Anyone want to say anything before we head out?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
That's amazing.
Oh no! Oh yeah. For those of you who didn't see the full terror of Ryan's costume, Jesus Christ.
That's
Really blown by a serial killer.
I've definitely seen that. I've seen that mask in Times Square a few times.
That was me.
So.
That was actually me.
I knew it.
I'm bummed. Halloween is already finished for me. It's
That's
like Sunday
depressing.
morning now.
That is depressing.
It's like 1 a.m. almost. Sunday morning.
That's true.
Got a question. Any Christmas music coming to Mondo? We have some more copies of Home Alone coming into the shop. If you've missed that one, we have Spencer's favorite Christmas movie, Eyes Wide Shut, coming down the pipe eventually. And
oh my god, it's amazing as well. Like it's incredible. Man.
We have our first Christmas single coming out from.
We can't talk about that.
We won't talk about that, and we have tons of more releases coming out, but nothing that's explicitly Christmas themed. Sadly, beyond the thing that I'm not allowed to talk about,
which is very Christmassy.
All right.
Well, it's super cool to see you all.
Yeah, thanks
Just
for having me.
like,
Ew.
It's always
yeah.
nice.
For sure.
Yes, there will be a repress of Suspiria, Adam. We're working on it. So, but yeah, it's been really nice to just hang out and shoot the shit with you with no agenda.
I know. I can't wait till MondoCon. I was saying that to Mo and Ross. I'm like, I don't know. I miss being around everyone and like going out to dinner, and it's like kind of like a mini summer camp, and we're everybody for like 2 or 3 days. We're talking work, but we're talking work with each other, and we're getting to see people. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
This year has been
hmm.
not good, man.
Everybody, I have to log out earlier. I have to be a good dad. I have a screaming monster. Good to see everybody.
JC, tell me you're going to be wearing that outfit driving your car.
Of course,
Yes.
the French tiger. His name in French was Tigrou. And I want to answer one question. We still have the right for Pan's Labyrinth, and that's one project we're discussing. We're doing another vinyl repress for it.
Hell yeah.
So I saw that in the comments. But
Hell yeah.
happy Halloween, everybody.
You too.
Bye.
Love
Bye.
it, JC.
Get out and vote, and stay tuned for the Terror Vision takeover coming up next, y'all.